Are you in the game, by the way, Tony?
I am.
You haven't said a word about our awesome background. I thought you'd like hop in and be like, "What is this? My mind has been blown." You're like, "Whatever." Minecraft.
I'm sorry. I was going to say something, and then we started talking on another subject. My ADHD was just like, there's Kirby's.
Shall we bid for the scene?
Have we gotten paid, or did we get paid before last time?
I have no money, so...
I say we get paid first, then we bid for the scene.
Whatever.
Yes. Whatever.
I'm in very low energy. I was talking to Joseph before he got onto it. He recorded like 5 Let's Plays with Brantley today.
That's rough.
It wasn't... I mean, like, everything went right. I was just like, like, nothing has failed. Keep going. Keep going. How far can we go before we have to go eat dinner? And then we had to go eat dinner. I'm trying to get... I can't select...
Yeah, why put it on the top of the box card? That doesn't make any sense.
What is happening?
I'm trying to grab my coins. I can't select them.
I just hit the quarter button. I don't control where they land. Do you remember the last thing that happened?
Something about Mormon shock troops. Are those in mine, Al?
Yeah, thanks. I think that some of them were. No, what, Kitty Purry went off to do something, didn't she?
Everyone's heading towards Salt Lake City. Tunk is underground now. He's snuck in after the musical lock.
Yeah, they were driving down with the Mormon tour bus.
Kitty Purry was on a train with Joby heading that way, and we got sort of a general explanation of what's actually happening for the first time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Tunk's family didn't want to believe the prophecy that they were all going to die, and acted like a bunch of douchebags. And they're all buried there. We actually explained what the MacGuffin was for the first time, too. It's Tunk's clan in the Salt Tombs. And then Kitty Purry did the whole Simba talk with Joby number 3. Or Cultist number 3.
Are you tired, Joseph?
Part of it.
Of course I'm tired.
Okay. I wish we could do these earlier, but like 7 o'clock, I need to eat some dinner before we start.
No, it's also just Tuesdays are just long for me. I have to get up and do the stories before everything kicks off.
Good hits on those so far.
Yeah, those posters are freaking hilarious. And we even got some Reddit trolls.
Oh, did we?
Did we?
Yeah.
Man, that's solid.
Yeah.
All the people who downloaded my video, I didn't even get any comments like, "Well, this sucks" or anything. I was just like, "Oh man."
The stories were declared they're fairly mediocre. And then someone else went after the, it's the writers' arena? Which
yeah, I just saw that.
About. It's like me, you dickhead.
What did he say?
Because it's writer singular.
Yeah, instead of writers apostrophe after the S.
Not a group of writers. It is the sole writers' arena. Which is either way, but... So then I said it was about me. I guess I'm a smartass.
We could change that, I guess, if we needed to. I mean, I never thought about it.
I gave that a lot of thought, and I was like, I like the singular sort of... It's like the Samurai's Way, or... I had other examples in my head. A year and a half ago, when we settled on that. It worked both ways.
Back whenever it was Untitled Writers Arena?
Yes. UWA.
Or, yeah.
Writers.
Untitled Writer thing. God damn it. We're just throwing stuff everywhere.
Nobody cares.
Many props.
Nobody cares about the name of the writers' arena. I take it back. I'm sorry I asked the question. Let's bid for the scene.
All right. Whoops! Can you see when it's floating?
Tony?
Oh!
2.
Surprise us all. Tony gets my mug.
I didn't think I was going to actually win.
I'm really tired, alright? I don't have an idea.
No,
I may not even talk.
So,
I'm
I've actually
recording.
been pondering this a bit. Not the scene, but the gameplay. And it seemed like collaborating isn't against the rules at all. Like, you're supposed to talk things out, and the coins and everything comes into play when you can't talk it out.
Yeah.
Because we tend to do a little better if we're bouncing ideas off.
Yeah, a little meta gaming and stuff too. So, where is Wilbur? Like, where has Wilbur been?
He was
like
in the
he's off
car
with Maggie?
tensely with Maggie. They
Yes.
were tense. There was tension.
Maggie and him were driving off tensely.
There was
they were
some like
dry.
Hall & Oates song on the radio.
Yes. Oh, it was cheesy 80. Yes, it was. It went a different direction than I expected. The song of choice. I'm gonna start putting blocks
You're
up.
welcome to bring him in and have him in Salt Lake City, Tony.
That's what I gotta bring him in because we haven't had him in like 2 episodes.
He's
So
hiding in a
him-
suitcase in the bottom of the bus. We don't realize.
Lose that key 18-year-old girl demographic if we don't have Wilbur show up.
I would like to point out
Yeah.
we also haven't had the League of Shadows or the J-Fodge in like 5 episodes.
All right.
Maybe he calls them for help. You know?
Oh,
I'm
they're
just
like
suggesting.
rogue, like in the cult and everything right
They're
now.
around, right?
Yeah, the J-Fodge is supposed to be like following everybody.
J-Fodge has like that tabs sort of on things. I sort of thought
Alright.
the cult is kind of shattered, to be honest.
Yeah, so Wilbur and Maggie are in their car.
I'm talking about the League of Shadows.
I don't even know which one that
Furniture
is.
Emporium.
Oh yeah, that they're there.
Where is
the alternate cult that you brought up?
Yeah. It's not Demetrius. Where I don't even see. It's not Herschel.
Who are you
Is
looking
it
at?
Alexander?
Who the hell's Alexander?
I don't know. Who's the owner of the Amish furniture store?
Oh, that's
Why?
what is his name? Dang it.
Leslie.
Leslie, yes. He has
Very
horn rimmed
good.
glasses, Tony.
Yes, he's fat.
Where is he?
Glasses.
Leslie.
I don't
is
think
from
he's
the
on
South.
here anymore. I think Leslie is gone.
Alexander is a member of the J-Fodge, but he did not see. Well, I guess they know at this point. Here he is, Leslie,
Oh, I see. I couldn't get an angle on that.
because of the giant box in the middle.
Yes. All right, so
Speaking of boxes, I still
There's a
don't have the
J-Fod.
models for Wilbur or Maggie. Nobody's updated those. We haven't had them for like 6 Let's Plays. And so they show up like boxes for everybody watching the video. Big box is Wilbur, little box is Maggie, because women are weak.
They're standing on their
yeah, they're
heads.
standing on their heads.
I'm
And
sure that
Wilbur-
that looks hilarious
Wilbur looks more
to you.
like
but
Wilbur
it's
looks
just
more
the-
like a farmer.
They should imagine it, and it'll be funny.
I wanted to point out that I was making a joke about women being weak. I wasn't like serious.
When did
And
you say
nobody
that?
picked up on
When
that.
did, I didn't even notice you were getting us into trouble.
I said the big box is Wilbur and the little box is Maggie because women are weak. I
Oh,
was expecting
that-
someone to say something negative, but nobody
Hardly
did, so that just sounded like I was being a douchebag because nobody made a joke about it.
I don't see how you could construe that as sexist.
All right, so they're in
It
a
was
car. They're
sexist,
heading
but-
towards Salt Lake City.
I was joking. Also,
J-Fodge agent Alexander is following them in another car.
I need another coin, sir.
I know. I was just moving things out of the way.
Can we
What kind of car
not
is it, Tony?
have things go flying when someone hands me a coin once?
All right.
He's driving a gremlin.
Yeah, driving a gremlin,
paying
following
for that.
their. What are the, I thought they were driving a gremlin.
I don't know if
I
we
don't-
established what they were driving.
I think we established that, yeah.
All right, so they're like in the distance. It's sunset over like or sunrise over Salt Lake City, and they're driving towards it from California. So it's like big cinematic moment. And they're sitting there talking in the cars. They're trying to figure out how they're going to get through. And the J-Fodge is finally being contacted about their whereabouts. Leslie is in the scene. He's preparing to figure out what he has to do to aid them to get in there without being too obvious about it.
So he's like on a walkie-talkie with Alexander.
Yeah.
By
And
the
now
way,
it's Alice.
okay, so what's the status with
Wait,
Wilbur and Maggie?
Tense, but
Does
maybe-
I mean, he knows that she turned
Oh,
Shik's
God, this-
appeal into...
He knows that she knows that he knows, but does she
But
know?
Does she know that he knows that she knows?
You know?
Does he? I'm asking. I don't remember.
I'm looking. Also, it turns out Maggie has an ancient lizard man soul inside of her.
Oh, I knew that.
That was a nice aside. Yeah,
is the ancient lizard man still
She's
attracted
also
to
a
Wilbur?
result. Like she's the one who planned the cult and everything.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh yeah, but she's got the hots for Wilbur, so the lizard man must have the hots for Wilbur. Because the Lizard Man's been in her the entire time.
Wilbur
Right?
is the man times 3. It doesn't matter what species it is.
Yeah, we're gonna
They're
pay a
attracted
coin
to
to
him
be
if-
friendly to like LGBT people and say, yeah, the lizard man likes him.
Well, it's
Throw that in the tags, Albert, when you upload this video. LGBT friendly.
I don't think we're LGBT.
We're sexist, but we're all for the LGBT.
We're way too stupid to be LGBT friendly.
I'm at least like for the L part.
What is, I don't even know
Well,
what the
see,
B is.
now it's super sexist.
No, I give it extra half-star rating on any movie that has lesbians in it.
I believe you, Tony.
Oh, I was just
I'm
explaining for the
sticking
home
by my
audience.
original statement.
Scoring points left and right.
Um,
Wilbur finds a note telling him not to trust Maggie in his pocket, placed there by a J-Fodge agent.
which we now know is Alexander.
Things grow tense as they head towards Salt Lake City.
All right, so they're headed to Salt Lake City. Maggie doesn't know that Wilbur knows, right?
She's suspicious because he started acting weird, but she does not know. No.
This seems like a conversation to happen at like a Whataburger or something.
Why would that matter?
What?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how to develop what is going on there. That tension. I'm trying to figure out.
Well, obviously you said it at a Whataburger, and then
Like, I mean,
Cinema
there's a path to go, right, where she just says, "Look, I mean, you're
I'm
obviously
talking
onto me. You got me. I'm evil." Like, that's one way to go, right?
is she though?
Not
She's
evil. Well,
she's the hero
maybe.
of her own story.
She's
Yeah, we
trying
haven't
to bring back the
established her
Dino
angle
people,
yet,
so
have we?
she's at least tangentially, like, on Tunk's side. Like, his family's, refusal to believe the prophecy is similar to her refusal to let the dinosaurs just die.
Yes, to some degree, unless she's trying
And she
to.
was willing to like turn Chick's appeal into a possessed monster.
Yeah, she's not nice, but then again, Wilbur is the man times 3.
Yeah.
Lizard's
You gotta be
a
willing
strange
to
thing
fight
about
for the
him.
man times 3. Uh-huh.
Hang on, I'm looking through all of the craziness. It's possible we strung too many threads throughout this story.
It could be time to kill off somebody.
Well,
Well, I'm trying to figure out what Maggie's actually done outside of be jealous of Shiksa and know things.
Yeah, she's been like the reason why he went to California and the reason why they're heading to Salt Lake right now.
Mm-hmm.
and help, like, resurrect all the dinosaurs.
And she was a hell of a secretary.
Yeah.
She got fired.
Oh, that wasn't her fault.
Okay, so
She could
here's
probably
what
draw-
happens. All right, Wilbur and Maggie, like, pull over at a rest area because it's a long drive and they've had too many Cokes. And Maggie gets out to do whatever in the bathroom. Because people in our story go to the bathroom, darn it. Like, for real. They gotta poop and stuff. And
Even
while
the girls.
What?
Even the women.
Yes, even the women.
This is now
While
accurate.
she's in the bathroom, like like Wilbur didn't need to go, right? He like peed in a bottle or something on the way, or something.
Like a guy.
It's just a really nasty restroom, so it's just like walking out into the desert. He's gonna go water a cactus.
And so a gremlin screeches up, and it's Alexander, right?
Yeah.
His little gremlin. And he pulls up, and he says to he gets Wilbur's attention while Maggie's gone, and says to her, "Hey," or says to him, "I'm with the J-Fodge. You get my note?" And Wilbur's like, "Yeah." And Alexander's like, "Yeah, and he's like, "Well, I don't know. What do you want me to do?" Like, he's like, "Well, you could, do something to her or like tie her up or something." And he says, "Well, I'm not, I don't know what's going on here. I'm not, I'm trying to figure stuff out. Like, maybe she's the only person to get my, my girlfriend back. I don't know where that is. And like, maybe she's got more powers." And Wilbur's like, "Look, stop pussyfooting around," and like hands him a gun. And like when she comes
Whoa.
out, they like confront her. I'm paying for that. Like they both like just say like you are
La 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 la.
Was it pleasant in there?
And yeah, that's as far as I can go.
Wilbur's standing on his head.
I'm passing
Locke
it
is
to
standing
Joseph.
on its head.
They're out in the desert sun. Two, J-Fodge, not J-Fodge members, but two people holding up a lady who's a lizard person with guns.
Just then... Oh, that would negate the entire scene. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, because it was such a riveting scene.
Hey, there was
So,
like a standoff
like-
happening.
Tautly put together.
Just then... this is a new car. This is not the old one. And the truck driver's like, what the hell's going on here? Because he just sees a lady in distress and two weirdos. And he's not a weirdo.
I thought about
truck
that.
driver.
I was like, there's two guys holding up some helpless lady in the middle of open public. Like, it's probably
Yes.
not a good idea.
And Alexander's like, relax, I'm part of the J-Fodge. The truck driver's like, you know you have no jurisdiction in New Mexico. And then... that doesn't happen. Using this as a distraction, Maggie... Cha-cha! Roundhouse kicks him. And then, like...
Roundhouse kicks who? Alexander or Wilbur?
Alexander.
Okay.
He had the gun, I thought.
I thought both
Well,
of them
no,
had
even if he
guns.
doesn't, Alexander gets knocked out. Or knocked over and, like, is like, ow, ow, my arm. And the truck driver's like... what does the truck driver do? It's like, holy hell, what was that? She's like, whatcha-cha-pa! And, like, dives, like, karate chops forward and smashes your foot through the windshield and knocks out the driver. That's a coin. And then she stops. I think he killed Albert.
He was the truck driver.
She turns to Wilbur, who's standing on his head. No one could see that, apparently, because that's not part of Al's feed. And then she does nothing. And he's, like, obviously terrified. Expecting her, to roundhouse kick him as well. And she's like, so now you know. I knew that you knew that I knew, but now, everyone knows that they know.
Everything is illuminated. Except for Alexander, he's knocked out.
Well,
Trevor
he's...
doesn't know anything.
Okay, she gives Wilbur the gun, and she's like, I can't force you to come with me. Despite what she just did, keep that in mind. He's like, you can pretty much beat the crap out of me, apparently. And she's like, I can't force you to come with me. You have to make this choice. And come willingly. And he's like, what? And she's like, that's how it has to be. I can't explain further. And at first he's like, what about the truck driver? She's like, he's fine,
I'm Batman. People like
Yes.
that don't die.
Yes. I've only kicked him. He's
Most of
perfectly
the
fine.
energy was displaced in the windshield whenever
Yes.
your leg went through it.
A lot of that you saw was to break the windshield, and then the rest of the shot to his forehead. But she is like, this one though, and Alexander's like, you can't kill me because you'll have the rest of the J-Fodge after you. She debates this, and she's like, yes, that is actually true. So she ties up Alexander. Alexander goes into the back of the truck.
Well, how would they know? The J-Fodge.
They have a very elaborate check-in procedure about, where you are, and you're supposed to always radio in, and
If they have
you
an
go
elaborate
missing.
check-in procedure, they're going to know that somebody took him hostage. It's not going to be any different than if they killed him. He's just not going to check in. Or he's going to check in with the wrong signal because, that's the signal.
Do you want to contest this?
Well, hang on. Let me just
I'm
point
not
out, I wasn't...
contesting anything. I'm just questioning.
Hang on. I wasn't saying they can't hurt him. Obviously, that's, pretty well known now. I'm saying she didn't want to kill him.
I'm just saying that the motivation of like the J-Fodge will be after. They're already going to be after her.
Yeah, but not if she'd killed him. Like, that's...
That all of a sudden
there's a
frees up
line.
resources from Leslie and Herschel.
Does what?
Apparently, like, since this is supposed to be an under the books thing, because Herschel didn't want everybody knowing he was trying to go after his son.
We haven't established that. I think at this point it's kind of become a little overt with
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
no. Like that
Minecraft.
changed in like chapter 3 or something, where like it wasn't. Like, it was only when it was just him. Like, he got the whole J-Fodge involved once he found out about the League of Shadows and everybody working together.
Oh, yeah, because he was originally spying because his son wasn't going to go to rabbinical school.
Yeah.
Yes. Remember that?
I do remember that. Oh, I guess Maggie could also play the card of, like, I know something about the dinos. You saw Tunk come to life. You saw him, display his power. I can tell you, I can tell you about that power. I know more about it than anybody else in the world.
Okay.
Since Wilbur has that as a motivation, right?
Well, there's also Shixa. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, she also could be like, we can save Shixa, but you have to come with me voluntarily. I'm not sure why that's playing out, but that's what I want. And she didn't kill him. I'm also making her a bit of a gray area, too. I don't want her just killing the truck driver and killing Alexander and then going on. Which Tunk has already done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see her as, like, the complete evil, but she has some problems. I mean,
hence,
potentially.
the dude tied... she's got a dude tied up in the back of a boxcar that she, stole. But no one did. She also possessed this guy's girlfriend with a kind of psychotic court wizard from a dinosaur realm 2 billion years ago. But no one's
she's
dead.
also not dead.
Yes,
Which
not dead.
Also did happen to the other guy, so maybe she knows something about how to operate the tablets that...
Is Joby dead?
What?
Joby
No,
looks
Joby's not
alive.
dead. Is he?
The other guy who got... What happened? Which other guy got killed?
Joby is undead.
Yeah,
We might
Joby
have
is
killed
with
off Joby.
Tunk.
Oh.
He got
No, I
killed
knew that.
as
mean, the
he was like he died when he was possessed.
I forgot that.
Yeah,
But Chixa didn't.
that's correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wilbur turns dramatically towards the sunset and just wishes he was back to rabbinical school for a moment.
He's like, you know what? Yahweh is actually pretty cool. I'm sick of this dinosaur stuff.
It was so much simpler before.
This is the most convoluted trip ever. I'm handing it off. You get to decide how this winds down, Tony.
All right. In the worst scene ever created.
What do you, we had someone karate chop their way through a truck windshield.
Yeah. Also,
That's
we're
true.
like tying up plot threads, Tony. You have to like.
Yeah, we're getting
resolve
everybody into the
things.
same
They have to
spot.
come back
Everyone into a
together.
truck.
All of the crazy lines that we laid out have to like tie back together somehow, even if it is like.
Yeah, it's
a
gonna have
little
to
bit
make a
weird.
showdown.
Yes, I just... Oh, never mind.
You want to take it back for a moment?
No, I'm thinking of the very
Thinking
end.
of like 2 or 3 chapters from now.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're like Mad Maxing around the desert with someone's bones or something, and... I don't even know.
Spoilers.
Ooh, what if they're trying to raise Tunk's dad? Imagine Tunk's dad. Tunk
J-Funk.
Senior.
Funk.
Trunk.
Father Tunk.
Funk.
Funk.
Flunk.
All right. So I'm going to say that Wilbur, after everybody knows that they know that she knows that he knows, and, he decides he has to go with her because it's the only way that, he's going to get back Shixa or even see her ever again. So they get in the box truck, and he kind of nods knowingly at Alexander, knowing that he's going to have to check in soon, and that if he doesn't, then the rest of the J-Fodge is going straight to Salt Lake City to sort all this out.
No.
So everybody's collapsing in on Salt Lake City. Also, he knows he might end up needing, Leslie and some of his tech to be able to get into the underground caverns.
That's Wily Leslie. Woo!
Yeah.
What a character we needed to have him for.
Well, remember, he had, all sorts of tech and,
I
the
remember
voice and everything. So,
Saying.
if maybe he could break a musical walk instead of them having to abduct more Mormons.
Which
Are
voice
they really
did he
gonna...
have? I forget. That was
The only other voice you could do besides Batman.
Demetrius.
No, Demetrius has the screechy voice, then he has the Southern Savannah drawl.
No, I mean he had a recording of somebody. Like
Oh,
there
who
was
the
a
hell
whole
knows?
thing with the cell phone.
It
Remember?
was yeah, but that kind of got resolved. They used that to crack the comms and figure out that what Wilbur was up to, and then they knew that Wilbur was fake or something. I think that actually played out, believe it or not.
Okay. I was worried that never went anywhere.
Yes.
All right, and so
God
they're all
forbid.
together. They know what's going on, and they start driving off into the distance towards the temple.
I love the truck sound effect, by the way.
Then, the last moment of the scene,
Oh
you
God.
see Demetrius walking along the road, haggard,
How did
angry,
he get there? They're
carrying
between.
his.
He was last seen in like Washington, having had the staff take from him, which means he would have had to flown to California and then walked from California to Salt Lake City. Why
Well,
would
right
he do
outside
that?
an airfield.
You remember in Constantine when that guy walked from Mexico to like basically wherever they were? It's kind of like that, except instead of the Spear of Destiny, he's carrying a book on Windows, like Microsoft Word, because he's trying to get some studying done while he's on the road. And you just hear him screaming like, "Oh, these stupid templates!" And that's how the scene ends.
This computer science thing is gonna come back around at
Yes,
some point.
actually, he's gonna have to hack
We'll
something
find a way to tie it in at the very end.
or format a Word document or something.
Quick, this spreadsheet needs to compile, otherwise we won't be able to survive.
What's the hotkey for italics? For the love of God!
Why did they make this this nuclear reactor run on PowerPoint? All right,
Filing all that away. Wait, so like, can we have it where they're like maybe he's walking the one way and he sees the truck go past him and he's just like, ah, and he like turns around and starts walking.
I'm good. I'm good with that. I'll pay for that.
He's been trying to catch up with Maggie.
He's trying to get to California.
He's been
then
trying to
he
get to
sees that-
Maggie, right? Like, and he like.
I don't even
co-opted-
remember where we left him.
I just have in my mind. There's like an image of him like co-opting somebody's car, and then like the car breaks down, and like somehow he knows where she is. I don't know. Maybe he has like some kind of affinity with her. Can I pay for that? Can I pay that? Like Demetrius can sense where Maggie is, like in a compass kind of way.
We could either make it mystical, or we could make it so that whenever she was the secretary, you just put like a GPS tag in her.
That is not Demetrius' style, though.
It doesn't help that I refer to him as Ferdinand half times in the notes.
Well, pay for what you want, Al.
Well, I wanted to know if anybody had any major problems with it. I will pay for
That
it.
seems weird for Demetrius. I mean, he's not supernatural. He just had the staff.
Yeah, but she was influencing him to do the
It's just
cult.
a really
And
Twitter
after the
feed.
staff got taken, I don't know. I'm just saying, if he's in the middle of the desert, like the scene that I just described makes no sense unless he knows. If he knew where they were, and if he knows, where they are now.
The way I think it makes sense is that he was trying to get to California because that's where they were last spotted, and then they're driving towards Utah. So he was driving to California. They drive past him, and he notices them, and then turns around and starts walking the other direction.
And passes the sign that says Salt Lake City, 582 miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or however many miles. Holding his thumb out. Okay, well then I won't pay for him knowing where Maggie is at. Supernaturally. That did not happen. I'm
All we
good
know
with
is
that scene.
he's back in the game.
Oh yeah.
Good old screechy voice back in the game!
Maggie comes back and using a passing truck as a distraction. Karate chops the shit out of everything. It's good. I'll take that. What else? Oh, tells. I'm just doing my notes. I'm fine with that
Well,
scene.
I think that's a good scene. I think we should end. It would be good if we could record 2 today. So I say let's make that one for 1, and then we'll do another one here, and that'll be 2.
Works for me.
That way we won't have to meet again next week.
Thank God.
Everybody can have a free Tuesday night,
Or Sunday night, or whatever
or
we
Sunday
try to
night,
do.
or whatever night that we were able to cobble together.
Sunday night is when we always plan to, and then we're like, no energy.
We thought, well, you didn't even text Joseph about it last time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I probably saw
I don't
something.
understand how you guys like meet people for lunch or like
I
make
don't.
plans or like
I
things
don't.
happen with the amount of times that It was mostly directed at Tony. I haven't quite had to plan too much with you, but Tony will just be like, yeah. We were
Video
doing things
games.
yesterday. Where were you? And I'm just like, how the hell am I supposed to know something's happening? Tony's planning is...
I just stay at home and go to work. If I'm gonna have some lunch with somebody, it's my wife. Maybe there's a babysitter involved, and I call my mom and be like, "Mom, could you watch the kids for a couple hours?" So I could like talk to my wife that I married. You
Well,
remember?
that doesn't happen again for a while, though. You remember when you wanted kids?
I remember.
When you wanted 5?
Oh God, was I dumb? Wow. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Tune in next week. We'll talk more about my kids and my marriage. Both of which are happy and healthy.
Unless you're in New Orleans.